Hey, Shalom. I'm going to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Bashem Kadash. Still belongs to the Apostle Nel's Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to you, brothers, preaching the truth throughout the four winds. This video, I'm going to basically go into how our mind frame should solely be on pleasing Yahweh Bashem Yahshua, and not dwelling on and constantly being in the mind frame of being men pleasers, because if you think and you just ponder on if you just look out into the world and see how people maneuver, everything is seeking approval from either your peers or other men, you know what I'm saying, or just the validation of the world. Everything. You want to get the biggest and best house, seeking approval. You want to get the best car, seeking approval. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes and they may not be really good for you to be doing that. Like, sometimes you'll live outside of your means just to get validation from people. Like that makes you certified. You're certified because you can drive a Bentley. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with wanting better things, but sometimes it's just like you can't do that in search of approval of men, even spiritually. You want to always constantly please Yahweh Bashem Yahshua. All right, that's the sole mission of all this. This is Galatians 1:10. It says, "For do I now persuade men or the Most High? Or do I seek to please men? For if I yet please men, I should not be the servant of Hamashiach." So this thing is really about pleasing the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So that should be our mind frame. Okay, that should be how we maneuver when we're walking in the spirit, just solely pleasing the Lord. That's just the way it's supposed to be. This is 1 Thessalonians 2:4. It says, "But as we were allowed of the Most High to put," Salakia. It says, "But as we were allowed of the Most High to be put in trust with the gospel, even so we speak, not as pleasing men, but the Most High, which trieth our hearts." So, your trials and tests are going to come through, men, but you don't need to seek their validation as to please Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Now, when that test comes and it comes through men, that's how you pass that test. Okay, that test is passed because when the Lord uses men to try you, so to speak, then that's how you pass the test, because that's going to be your test. But you're not doing it solely to please or get the validation from those men or women or whoever it is. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think that everything is controlled by spirits. So if a spirit is on someone to try you or test you, then that's just what you have to go through to please Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right. Proverbs 29:25. It says, the fear of man bringeth a snare, but whosoever putteth his trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua shall be safe. So the fear of the Lord is really what makes everything complete. So it's notice it said a snare. So when you fear a man and a spirit is on the man, and you solely think now in the physical that it's about pleasing that man, what happens? The focus is transitioned from pleasing the Lord, and now your focus is on pleasing and being a man pleaser. And that's not how you're supposed to maneuver. Okay? You gotta look at this thing spiritually. All right? This is John 12:43. It says, "For they love the praise of men more than the praise of Yahweh Shem Yahushua." And you see a lot of this today too in like Christian pastors, you know. And if you're not careful, and even in the truth, you can be overtaken by this. You know what I'm saying? You'll be around men, and these things can really sink the hooks into you to where you want to just please men. And that's not the way that you should be moving. You want a good report and all that, you know what I'm saying? Not taking away from that, but the thing is, you don't want to solely just be trying to please men and get their validation for anything when it comes to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Well, not anything, but most things, you know. You want your main objective to be, I must please the Lord by what I'm doing. You know, not I'm pleasing this brother or these brothers because that just takes away from the praise of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay. It's Colossians 3:23. It says, "And whatsoever ye do, do it heartily or mainly as to the Lord and not unto men." So when it says mainly, like in your mind, when you're doing it, do it to please Yahweh Shem Yahushua and to further the gospel. Okay. And this is a mind frame that each man should have individually, and collectively it comes together. Okay. This is Acts 5:29. It says, "Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men." So you obey Yahweh Shem Yahushua rather than obeying what a man's telling you. But you have to also look at this spiritually, because men are going to deliver the message of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So it's the spirit that's going to guide you and let you know that this is the man I need to be listening to, you know. So you have to know when to spiritually, who to follow spiritually, you know, and the spirit is going to guide you to that. All right, this is Isaiah 2:22. "Cease ye from man, whose breath is in his nostrils, for wherein is he to be accounted of." Okay, so each man has his own little thing he has to go through and answer for. So trying to please him when he has to hold accountability for himself as well. I mean, so we all have something that we need to be doing. You can't look at the next man like that, because that next man, he got to answer for himself. Okay? So just keep that in mind, you know. It's order to everything, though. You have to just understand that when you're moving in this way, it has to be through the Spirit. 2 Corinthians 5:9. "Wherefore we labor, that whether present or absent, we may be accepted of him." So however you move, you have to do it in the mind frame of the Lord, basically accepting your sacrifice of what you're doing. You know, everything in the way you move, like your daily go-abouts. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand that the Lord is watching and he sees all that you do. You know, and the next man can't answer or speak for you where he can give accountability for you. You got to give your own accountability. Okay. Let me grab one more. This is Galatians 2:20. It says, "I am crucified with Hamashiach. Nevertheless, I live. Yet not I, but Hamashiach liveth in me." And this is how the spirit moves. Okay. "And the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, who loved me and gave himself for me. So this walk it's an individual walk, but in the bodies. You know what I'm saying? It's like a small puzzle pieces make up one big picture. So your picture, your little frame of that small picture builds a bigger thing, and that's the body. But you have to individually walk this walk to where it goes in perfectly the way it's supposed to go in. You can't fit your frame of your piece of the puzzle into someone else's slot, because that's not your lot. Okay? But all these things you have to do, and it has to go perfectly into the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua to make that perfect picture. And you can't do that by trying to please other men. Okay? With that, I say shalom.